I was kneeling in the middle of a major highway after a group of particularly assertive bums took away the cardboard box that I was using to try to make into a mattress. They were attempting to stack several dozen cardboard boxes together so that it would form a makeshift commune, as several of the men in the group had recently been kicked out of their usual sleeping quarters. As they were kicking me in the teeth, I attempted to explain to them that I was happy to share my box, but blood was clogging my throat, and all that came out was a series of plaintive gurgles. After the encounter with the bums, the only item I had left was a small tube of toothpaste, which I had resorted to eating after my supply of week-old ladyfingers ran out. Cars on the highway swerved past me, and the drivers frequently beeped their horns. I was trying to sleep, but the constant noise prevented me from doing so. Eventually, I crawled my way to a nearby underpass after discovering that my legs had given out, possibly as some sort of protest. I tried apologizing to them, but it proved ineffectual. A thin, ropey man with a beard that reminded me of a cat's scrotum sat with me at the underpass. He told me that his name was Gerald and that he used to be a radio announcer until his boss attempted to sodomize him with a lengthy cucumber after he flubbed a line. "What a boring story," I said, popping a squirt of toothpaste into my mouth. "I know." Around this time, I began to feel very strange. The left side of my face grew hot, and my stomach had apparently sided with my legs, as it was now attempting to escape through my asshole. After politely excusing myself, I ran around a corner and pulled down my pants, releasing a stream of hot waste everywhere. I felt like I was losing weight, most of which was being secreted through the massive amounts of sweat that were pouring down my forehead. I looked down at the tube of toothpaste that I was holding and found that it was completely empty. The label said that it contained 8 ounces of toothpaste, all of which I had eaten in the past 2 hours because toothpaste is not very filling. Colors began to swirl around my head, which made me think of the opening number in Fantasia set to the Bach piece with the organ. One of them spoke to me and reprimanded me for going up to the nearby bridge and dropping bricks on top of cars. After that, I blacked out. I woke up in a puddle of dried vomit and what may have been some sort of secretion from my screaming pores. Luckily, my legs had given up on their revolution and they worked again. I felt about 3 inches shorter, and I remembered that I had sold part of my vertebrae to a local artist who said that he needed it for an installation about the loneliness of being bound to a wheelchair. After the fact, I felt something resembling pride, having donated to a worthy cause, but soon I found out that I could not turn too far to the left or right, and bending down was impossible. A week later, I was coming back from throwing things at geese because they are incredibly smug and entitled, when I saw a large group of people huddled around a television set. On the news, there was a man who looked remarkably like me. He had been caught in an animal shelter attempting to become one with the dogs by hugging them until they burst. I thought it must have been very sad for the dogs, who probably did not like being squeezed to death very much.